Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pushing Media. It has been, I'm going to mute that stream because I've just echoed so hard. It's been a good week since we was off. Obviously, last week I was in Malta, so we didn't get a guest prepared going forward last week. But this week we have a very special guest. It's Mr. C. Bottom.
What's good, people?
And as you can tell, he's in the festive spirit.
Going out there with my old hat. Been talking about which way I should wear my hat. Should I wear it forward or sideways or back? Let me know in the chat.
I think side.
Which side? That way or that way?
What's your best side?
That way. I'm a bit forward. There.
Throw it that way then, my guy. For you guys that don't know who Curt is, you explain to them who you are.
So I'm currently the Fortnite team coordination manager for the Fortnite division in Singularity. Working with some of the best European and South American players around the world at the moment, and hopefully looking to move into more regions very soon. Past was the owner of Aerox Esports, and I'm sure there'll be a couple conversations about that this evening.
Yeah, that's probably what we're going to start off with. Before we start off with that, we're going to give a quick shout out to Socially Esports. I thank you guys for powering this Pushing Media podcast and / interview series we have got going on. We appreciate you guys, and of course, shout out to Mr. Jamie Birch for all he does. Aerox, I think you was in a bit of a toss up between where to go, really. You know, whether to keep on with Aerox and obviously you had S&G on the side, you had it going well for you. What sort of your final decision to be like, you know what, like Aerox is just not for me anymore, and then Singularity, that's there, that it's an opportunity.
There was a lot of false promises with the Aerox side, where there's supposed to be 3 owners in Aerox.
Yeah.
Being honest, I only felt like one with the amount of work that the other 2 did put in.
Who was those 2, or do you not want to say?
People know it's Davey and Aaron. Started off perfectly, which was like how I was brought into esports, and then after month, it kind of just dissolved, and it ended up just being me.
Yeah.
And when you're like the amateur side of the esports trying to grow, when the funding comes down to yourself, it's a very difficult situation.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, well, over time, I don't know if I can disclose it, but I don't really care. We were getting like sponsor money come in to help run it.
Yeah.
But that's when things just went a lot more south with the limitations that we had. But yeah, no, it's just it was a good 3 years. I did enjoy it because that was my first ever organisation, and Davey brought me into esports. So without Davey, that's where I wouldn't be here right now. But I've always wanted to do this full time since I've stepped into it, and it just seems right for me to try and do this.
What way?
It's who wants to work a 9 to 5 job?
Yeah.
Who wants to work weekends? Who wants to work Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't want to travel the world like watching or recording video games? It is the dream.
Yeah, especially with our community and how passionate some people are. Some people are too passionate to say that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing.
I think it depends how you carry yourself in that sort of scenario.
If it's one of them ones that causes arguments or things like that, then no, it's not an ideal situation to be in.
So mainly what spiked your decision to go to Singularity was the fact that you was obviously Aerox just felt like it was just you at that point then.
Yeah, it was like the false hope of thinking that we was like maybe a couple steps away at a time.
Yeah.
When in hindsight you were nowhere, like we was nowhere near close. You'd have the good event, and then you're thinking, right, okay, we can now move on looking into like partnerships with big companies, and it just isn't the way. You've got to kind of look for like an outside company that's new to esports, which allows you to both promote themselves in like a new field. What actually started was the ESPU tournament. I think it was the winter. I think it was the winter one where Singularity and Aerox was in the loser bracket final,
Yeah.
and I thought I just saw the team, and the Singularity team was like set in stone. The Call of Duty roster that's done so well, and then there was the Aerox where you could say it's like a pickup team, and that's not what I really wanted to be about. I didn't want to be like an organization that just picks up good rosters. I wanted like a set in stone team.
Something you can build content around.
Yeah, and that's difficult with like that AM scene where a lot of people will always like pick and mix for like their rosters, like a new game, a new roster, but you need a foundation and a structure from everyone going forward. So with that, I'd probably say Toby Kleenex is the reason why I got into Singularity, being quite honest. And ever since, I've enjoyed every minute.
So essentially, just Aerox was just done to you at that point. And then obviously Singularity, the opportunity was there. You mentioned Mr. Kleenex, the fucking god himself.
Yeah.
How was he the one that brought you into Singularity then? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, no. So I messaged him after the game, and I was like, do you know if I can get in contact with like the owner, like see if there's any positions going? Because like obviously Alex was like coming to a halt as it was. It was just like behind closed doors, and he just gave me his @ straight away, and I just messaged him. And no word of a lie, if the Singularity owner's here, I wrote like a nice little message, and the first response I got was just a question mark. I was like, right. but now I'm here chilling, so I kind of put it all down to Toby.
Did you
So
ever
I'm quite
talk about
grateful.
that?
Huh?
Did you ever ask him why he just put a question mark to you?
No. I don't bother. Like, it's something that you can always remember, like the first conversation.
Yeah.
Like the first time you meet someone new, like the first conversation you always remember. But then, like straight after, is like opening arms.
What did you put?
Oh, I can't
For him to
remember.
even put a question mark.
Hey, like it's like, hey mate, is it possible if I could get jump in a call with you at some point? Some like something on the same lines as that. Not obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's just trying to be open as much as I can, and is like who the fuck is this sort of guy? so yeah.
You just got hit with a quick question mark.
Yeah. I was just waiting for the pie, but it's going alright.
It's going all right so far. Guys, also in the chat, as we always do every week, if you guys have any questions for Curt as we go through this interview with him, feel free to put them in the chat and I will be sure to ask them, as long as they are not about squirrels.
No squirrels.
No
If
squirrels.
Bean's here, we are not talking about squirrels, but I don't think he is right now, so it's fine.
I've got his question right here. I'm just looking past it, so don't you worry.
Done.
First question, though, we will take is from Twitter, and it is from Jamie Birch himself. What was your best moment within S&G so far?
My favourite moment, I don't know, is DreamHack Sweden was up there.
Fortnite.
Yeah, that was for the Fortnite guys. That was like the first time I've ever met them, and that whole experience being like out of the country at an event it's just top notch. Whereas if I was to say my favourite experience, it's got to be the CWO champs.
Yeah.
I was screaming when I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm puncturing the desk and stuff like that.
We've seen your Twitter of that weekend. It was
Yeah,
non-stop tweeting.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've ever tweeted so much.
Oh, and it's completely understandable. I mean, even just that alone. See, I didn't actually know that you just worked with the Fortnite guys. I thought you was Call of Duty as well. So just that's even interesting to see, because obviously the passion you have as well, just with the whole thing.
Yeah, with the Call of Duty guys, I wasn't brought in to look after them as much or like monitor. It's just I was due to go to CWL London, and I just happened to be there as I think I was in Aerox at the time.
Yeah.
But then what happened? and then I went into Singularity, and then it just went over to that. And then I was just like monitoring, keeping the scores up to date, because you know how hard it can be for players like to try and get the scores from the players can be very hard if they just had like a hard game. So like the content side, not so much content as in videos and stuff like that. It was just like the quick updates for like the higher management, and that's how I've kind of got to know each player. That's probably what made CWL Champs even more special.
Yeah.
Getting to know them individually at the event.
Was you there or
Which one, sorry? Champs, no.
You weren't at Champs. I thought you
Oh,
was.
if I was there, that would have been the best time of my life.
I can imagine. Exotic from Twitch chat said, best memory with Aerox.
I'd probably say, what would I say? I do apologise if you can hear that bike going past. It does come past quite a lot. What would I say? I'd probably have to go with the Gears of War team. There's a photo, and that photo kind of showed the passion that they had.
Yeah.
And it's just the best photo I think I've ever seen of like the passionate players. It wasn't even an important match. It was not even an important match. It was just doing one over like their friends, but you can see it on their faces what it meant to them, and it kind of just showed, yeah, that's how hard I'm trying to work for that. If that's like a fair comparison, or if that makes sense to you guys in the stream.
That's understandable, I think. I mean, even the smallest matches, organisation, and talking from previous, even the smallest matches mean the world to us, obviously, when we was doing that at a certain point, because it's just the fact of seeing your team win, your brand win. Like, it's just a good feeling all the way around.
Yeah, every match matters to an extent. Like you never know. You never know if it just sets you up for life, do you? It does take that one event.
Anything. It's just how that whole event goes. Ramsey, are you glad that I didn't know who? Are you glad that I didn't? What? Are you glad that I didn't? You know who? In the end, I won't be offended.
Are you glad that I didn't join the org in the end?
You know about
that? I think I know what he's on about. No, not really, Ramsey. It was your choice. So a bit of content. If you didn't know, Aerox was like it had loyalty within itself, where management, like underneath me and the other owners, they were here for like 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And then when it started to get into the end of 2018, going into 2019, there's so many different faces, and it was where I kind of got like fucked off with it. I tried to take a back step myself. Tried to let new people try and think of new ideas, and it just didn't create a positive atmosphere. And it was like new people trying to get involved, people trying to step too far into like other people's shoes. But with Ramsey, it was like he's a very good social media guy, and he would have been the guy that I wanted to kind of look after the social media for Aerox. But then he said no, and you can't. You just got to respect it, haven't you?
Yeah.
But
some people just don't want
to. You can even offer money. You can offer all different things, but if people aren't attracted to the brand, then you can't help it.
Yeah. Simple as that. At the end of that. So Ramsey basically doesn't hate you, so don't worry.
That's fine. I wouldn't hate you, Ramsey, anyway.
I think that was the meaning behind this whole question. Yeah. Is Curt, do you still hate me? He never hated you anyway. Do you miss Jordan Head?
Can we pass, please?
Well, of course we can pass.
I'm not his biggest fan.
Okay, that's fair enough. Shep, do you miss working with the old Aerox staff? More importantly, me. And your
Yeah,
reply to this actually was, I could do a whole truth episode on that.
yeah.
Needs be.
I've been thinking about that, and I don't really want to burn bridges, to be honest. But, yeah, nah. The old Eric staff was the best staff I worked with when I was under Eric's, because they all wanted the best thing, and that was to like make it as like a professional org. Whereas you're getting the new inexperienced people walk in, and then they think they're like Billy Big Bollock sort of thing, and just try and take over. But yeah, no, I don't know if that's hyper saying it, but Curt, do you hate? And just left it as that. I'm just going to ignore that question, hyper. But,
it depends what you hate, over. Because you could be talking about food, you could be talking about someone, who knows. Obviously, with the Singularity Fortnite, you guys have found a lot. You've got a great success going on over at Singularity as a whole. I mean, this year, you got verified, you got CWR champs, Fortnite roster's doing fantastic. So, in sort of the Fortnite terms, what is it that I'm pretty sure I'm not even sure people actually know this. What in terms do you do for the Fortnite scene in Singularity and the team itself?
so with the players at the moment, we're based in Europe, mostly like the Danish region, as that's where Singularity's from.
Yeah.
And then we've got a very, very good bunch of players from Brazil.
Yeah.
Our Brazil team is one of the best going. Like I'm not going to try and go around it. And I'm just going to say they're one of the best going. And this year alone, they've made 6 figures, like profit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the statement that I try and get into players' heads, where it's not all about the money. It's about enjoying yourself first of all, making sure that your health is fine and you're enjoying playing the game.
100%.
The prize money can come after, but when you've got like such great guys that, okay, the language barrier is not perfect because they're Portuguese and then I'm English, and I struggle with simple English. So that's the sort of fun side of it, where you're like learning, because I'm learning Portuguese at the same time. I couldn't tell you to say a word right now, but I can text it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the fun part, and always kind of learning new things about them. It's just what makes Fortnite a fun game. Because being honest, before Fortnite, well, no, not before Fortnite, whilst Fortnite was happening, and I was like very intrigued in the Call of Duty scene.
Yeah.
I fucking hated Fortnite. As simple as that. I did not like Fortnite.
You either love it or hate it. It's just one of them games.
Yeah. I just saw a lot of issues with the game game in itself. The competition with how they ran last weekend's tournament.
Yeah.
It was 14-hour days for 2 days straight. And I've sat there for both days, 14 hours, trying to monitor something and I can't. But that's kind of, that's in its job to do that. But it's a difficult job when when you're there from midday UK time to 4 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
Purely because you've got like a diverse team that are playing in 2 different regions.
I can imagine that's stressful.
That's why I'm kind of, because my voice keeps breaking. I don't know why, by the way. So I do apologise about that. There's like a time period for the EU guys where they're playing 4 hours, and there's like a 4-hour break, and then there's the Brazil guys.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking at the different regions and seeing where else we can go into.
So, how many Fortnite players do you currently have under SNG?
11.
11.
6 Brazilians. No, hang on. How's that make it? 7 plus 6. What's that? 13.
Yeah.
13 Fortnite players at the moment. 6 are Brazilian.
Yeah.
And 7 Europeans.
Okay. So you have got your hands full.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Because if there's 3 or 4 people,
Yeah, it's a bit slow.
yeah, and it's like you kind of don't want to be having the same conversation with the same person. Is because I try and speak to them as much as I can, maybe like 4 or 5 times a week. You're having, hey, how are you, with 3 people, or how's things going?
Every day.
And by the end of the week, they fucking hate you,
Yeah.
and
And
you're just like, right, and yeah, no, it's fine.
I completely agree. Hyper corrected himself. He said, "Nah, I mean, do you hate me?"
I don't hate anyone. I just have opinions of people that won't change until I see different. But that's not aiming at you, Hyper. That's a couple of other people.
Joseph said, What's his goals? What are your goals for 2020 with SNG/SNG Fortnite?"
I want to get the Twitter to 10k. That's the main aim. The Fortnite Twitter's been about for about 3 months, 4 months now, and we are just under 1,000 followers. So the main focus is to get that Twitter like fucking active. I don't know if you know much about like Team Atlantis, for example, who's got like 55,000. That's how I want to get the Fortnite side.
Yeah.
But Team Atlantis only focus on Fortnite. So if I can compare that size of that team and how good they are to like the Singularity guys, and have that growth within the social media side, that allows. Well, that makes it look like I'm doing my job very well. As simple as that. Look, it makes it look like I'm kind of enjoying it whilst smashing the fuck out of it.
And obviously, it's good that you do enjoy what you do because, as you said earlier, you know, the passion. If some people are way too passionate, which is sometimes bad because it depends how they bring themselves across. But if you're passionate in the right way, which I feel like that you are, and not just with the Fortnite guys as well, as I said earlier, we've seen throughout CWR champs how passionate you was for the Call of Duty team. Obviously, being a Call of Duty fan as well, I can imagine it was ecstatic for you. But just the passion you bring as well, it's obviously what makes you enjoy your job.
Yeah, I currently work 2 jobs. I work 8 till 4:30 Monday to Friday, and then I do Singularity work in the evening, and then that's on the weekends as well. So I'm not sleeping well, but I'm getting the work done.
Yeah.
And if that's the thing, you've got to make sacrifices if you want to make the top.
100%.
And that's what I want to do. I'm not the sort of guy just like, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it in a couple of hours and I'll play like a game.
Yeah.
I'd literally turn off my PlayStation or whatever you're on, and just do the work straight out. It's one of them fields where people aren't going to wait for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Organisations will take over you within an hour purely because they want it more. If you don't want it, then you're in the wrong. You shouldn't be in esports. Simple as.
Yeah.
The goal for me personally.
Can we clip that, somebody, by the way, please? Thank you.
Yeah, okay, let's just go like that. The goal for me personally is I want to help people.
Yeah.
That's not me saying I'm above people, because I'm not. It's I want people to feel comfortable in approaching me, whether it's got organisation, owners, management, players. I'm making sure a lot of the Fortnite players that aren't in Singularity, for one, are on the right contract. Like legally, because I've seen some fucking dog shit contracts. I'm making sure everyone. I don't know how to put it. It's just I want to like help everyone going.
Yeah.
I went through a really rough 2019 and 2018 where I was like signed off work for 6 months. I started this month unemployed and in about 6 grand debt, and now I'm finally happy with myself.
Yeah.
I've kind of realised that you can't let past affect you, and that was the thing with Aerox, where that was like my fucking everything. it's like me sad to say that, but that was a fucking big part of my life.
Yeah.
That's kind of that was shit to like kind of get rid of, but then now I'm in like a better position.
I respect that, man. 100%. Hyper actually brings us on to our next topic. Have you seen the Singularity headquarters?
I haven't been, but I've seen it.
Are you planning to go?
What's that say?
Are you planning to go?
Yeah, I want to go. If you've not seen it,
Then you'd be
I had the conversation with the owner on the phone the other day. There's 3 Lamborghinis,
Yep, seen that.
all in there, and it just looks so fucking good.
It does. From the photos I've seen.
I'd like to say I work hard myself, but I've never seen anyone work so hard as the owner.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's doing fucking 20 hours a day, if not more, and that's purely esports, and that's kind of what you want to aim towards.
100%.
But
that's the stuff you need in life. You work hard, you can play harder.
That is my exact tweet. Work hard, play harder.
It's really as simple as that. Where was we? What did you have to adapt to the most when stepping up to S&G from Aerox?
My professionalism. I would tweet a load of shit. If you haven't noticed, I've deleted a lot of tweets. It's you just never know who's watching.
Yeah.
And they always used to play the card of you never know who's watching, you could ruin a sponsor or something like that. That's a load of bollocks straight up. You won't ruin a sponsor because like some other guys tweeted stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It's like one of the ones where you just want to be like a role model, and that's how I want to like end up being. A bit like I want to kind of go into content and kind of make it like more fun, but not to the point where you're always arguing with people.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm seeing a lot of fucking AM shit or a lot of opinions on someone else's brand, and there's just no need. Just let them do them. You do you, and see who gets there first.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're, for example, I'm going to bring up the no ID stuff today. I've seen a lot of that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I just don't say nothing. I just laugh at it, to be honest. Let Joseph do what he wants. If he feels it's best to do his own thing, then he does that. There's a lot of sheep in the community.
100%.
It was the same as when Aerox closed. A lot of people jumped on backs. There's so many times where you never know if that person needs you or if you ever need that person, I should say.
Exactly.
Do not burn a bridge that doesn't need to be burnt. That's a good fucking saying. I've just made that up in my head.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, for example, say if Joseph was to go into what he's doing now and it fails, then it's only him that has to make that mistake and learn from that mistake. It's no one else to say don't do it from the jump because why listen? You know what I mean? Yes, take advice. Yes, take like criticism. Get advice off your friends. Say if you're whatever it is. Say if you need advice, talk to people. But don't take their advice as a decision. You have to make a decision ultimately. So if say Joseph is to like he thinks it's the wrong thing, say 2 months down the line, then
that's what you can put up to it. A lot of people don't see every situation or every I don't know what the word is. Every scenario. There's a lot of things that happen backstage.
100%.
Like you could see on Twitter 9 things, but that one thing that you don't see could change your whole opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why the AM scene, if anything, they need to work together.
100%.
If I keep clicking my fingers and it's fucking hurting now. It's the AM scene needs to work together. It's harder like people. No, so that's the thing. You can have opinions, but you need to have a value of your own opinion above theirs.
Yeah.
Um, your opinion may not be right. Their opinion may not be right. It's until 2 months down the line, then you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue with esports as a whole. They care too much about their friends, or what their friends say, I should say. It's like a lot of organisations. They're just signing content people, Fortnite players, things like that aren't going to benefit you. You just want people just to either speak to, or you just want a tweet to go out, and that's all it is. You need to look into what's actually beneficial for the organisation instead of saying, yeah, we've got 2 new Fortnite players, for example, and then every time someone goes live, it's this person's just gone live, this person's just uploaded a video. That's not what sponsors want. That's not what partners want. They want a value for the face of the organisation. To be just like, yeah, okay, the content side helps, but you've got to be picking up the best of the best. You
100%.
can't just be getting another sheep, because I guarantee that sheep will always. Well, I guarantee one of the sheeps will stab you in the back.
Probably pretty cool.
There's a lot of people. Well, that's why I keep picking stuff off my desk. There's a lot of people in Airlux at the time that thought, yeah, okay, it'd be a great org to join, and then they leave and then they just don't like me. People aren't gonna like you.
Oh,
That's the thing.
100%.
There's like if everyone liked you, the world would be a fucking weird place.
Completely
Um,
agree.
there's going to be people that don't like you or don't see the same view as you, but then that's why you're the org owner and they're just a player, because they're putting themselves first and then you're putting yourself first or the organisation first. There's going to be a clash,
Yeah.
but the thing with that is, like, I just saw that comment. You wouldn't be good at what you did if everyone liked you. That's true to an extent, where the like the only people that you could kind of go with that is Hex, like Scump. But then a lot of people don't like them purely because they've done it, and
Yeah.
then something else have failed for them. The negative values that you see are from people that's tried and failed, or hasn't managed to have that step up yet.
Mhm. No, I completely agree and follow that. It happens in, I think, every day in the scene. There's just certain people, as you said earlier, the community is just so babyish, toxic. There's certain people who don't like people because they've joined so and so, they've done this, they've done that, and they're not doing that.
Mm.
I think best example I could think of, for example, Malt of the weekend just gone. The whole Twitch chat was just roasting me, Brody, and George all weekend for our casting, for just the way we look. But
Yeah,
we just take such positives off that, because in not a cocky way, but you're watching, we're doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've took the leap to do it. So say
yeah,
what you want, buddy, but we're in a great position, and we're striving to do better for ourselves. And I think that's one thing
yeah.
that people have to take away from anything they do. Joseph, for example, joining or merging or whatever is happening over there, he's doing that for himself. He's doing that for his org. He's thinking that it's a good move. It could be a good move. Could not be. That's only for him to decide, and for only him to like
And
own
to
up.
see the consequences if there is anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If there's a lesson to be learned, then he's going to find out the hard way. If there isn't, then it's worked out from, and everybody that has said something, well, your opinion really wasn't valued or even mattered.
Yeah, it's a lot of organisations in the AM scene. They can be nice to you on the Twitter, like the Twitter out in the face of everyone else, but in DMs they'll be slagging you off straight out.
Oh,
You've
100%.
got to be doing what's best for you.
100%. The way I see it, don't worry about what people say about you or anything, because everybody will have an opinion on you no matter
Mm.
what. Even your friends will have an opinion. There's something that someone about you, even your closest friends, will not like about you. I'm not saying they're being horrible about you, but it's just the way it is. Some people are not made to love you, and it's simple as that. do not lose sleep over someone's opinion because you have to do what you have to do at the end of the day.
Exactly that.
Going back to the Twitter questions, Fames said, how big is the gap between Aerox at its highest compared to S&G in the respect of an AM to a pro org?
I saw this question and I was fucking trying to think of an answer.
I think it's a very weird question.
Yeah, but it's a
it's
question
very
that
weird.
people need to understand.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to understand how big the jump is. This isn't me saying Singularity is the fucking next top bollocks thing. This is the AM scene is completely different to where Singularity or the other organisations on that path is.
Yeah.
It's like I speak to the owner often, and he's still saying we're still a startup org. The Singularity's been since 2016, and he's still calling that startup org with where they are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, they're getting the teams and the results, but the thing is, yeah, with UK esports, it's about 6 years behind.
100%.
Fnatic are where they are. Fnatic being the lead in UK esports is where they are because they're the only organisation to really do it inside the UK. They had a business plan, and there's probably outside investment from different regions for the Swedish side of it. That's how Fnatic are that high. Excel probably the same, and then there's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's why I'm seeing a lot of amateur organisations take on amateur teams, and that's not the mentality you can keep having. The mentality you need is an amateur organisation to pick up a semi-pro or a pro team that's just dropped out or something.
100%.
If you're happy or like, for example, this isn't aimed at any organisations because I'm not seeing who's in the chat right now. If you went to CWL London and you didn't finish in the top 32, 48, if you finished worse than that, you've wasted an event.
100%.
Partners and sponsors won't look at that. They don't give a shit that you've gone to CWL London because they're looking at the prize pool, for example, and they're looking at the faces on the team. You could have picked up a very, very good team for maybe £500 more, but you decided to go with something so simple, stick like a tripod on and record them, and it doesn't work like that. Okay, it's nice to have a video of the event.
Yeah.
But that won't get you anywhere.
I completely agree. I mean, talking in the terms of going to AM events, for example, Malta, Black Law, back to back, twice events now. Well, 3 events under the organisation, but with Vickle and Co. back to back. They've actually left Black Law now and gone to pushing gaming because, as you say, it just takes that a little bit investment, and you can make that change instead of going £500 less and settling with a good video or a video that's going to make 1K, 2K views maybe.
If that,
you could pick up a team £500 more, make that video, and place very highly within the bracket. So
yeah,
I think that is a nail on the head when you just said it. Like some people just don't completely understand the sort of difference. And as you say, if you're still an AM org looking for AM teams and you're not going to break out,
you're just wasting your time. You're wasting your money.
I'd say knock the whole thing on the head.
That's where Aerox fell. If I was to, I saw someone comment it earlier. If I was to do Aerox again, I'm not saying that I would, because I probably wouldn't, because it would stress me the fuck out. You've only got to pick up like the dropout pro teams. That's how mazes grow, like Mazer Gaming. They've realised there's no point spending money on a top 48 team. We'll just get a pro team that's dropped out that look like they're going to be an expensive team when in fact every place is going to be the same. You're paying for a hotel, you're paying for travel. you're paying maybe £3,000 or £4,000, whereas you're paying £1,000 to £2,000 for a team that's going to get swiped on the first day. And that's what can set up your organisation. That's what brings in viewership or followers, not people that are known in the UK scene, because you've got to branch out of the UK scene. The quicker you get out of that, the better. Being completely honest.
100%. I think a great example, as you said, is Mesa. I mean, the Gears of War team, they literally beat Energy the other week, the toppest of top Gears
Yeah,
teams
I watched that
out
game.
there right now.
I watched that game.
It was insane. But it's the little things like that, you know, paying that extra bit more. And even if people are struggling with money, it's not so much of paying that extra bit more. You know, you can always talk to a team, you can always negotiate stuff. Fair enough, the team might not go for you. And if you've not got that investment behind you, then, you know, fair enough. Stick to what you're doing, stick to your roots until you can build up and then go to where you want to go.
You don't,
If you have it ready, just go for it. Take the leap, take the jump, because you never know what can work out. As you said, S&G, for example, as well, picking up the roster you had, going to CWR champs, qualifying for champs, being some of the top names at the pro players out there as well. And Kleenex, Cami, etc. They've just gone straight on now to pro teams for this year for the CDL.
And that's what you need. That's what you need from your players. I was about to say something, but I've completely forgot. Yeah, the quicker you get away from the UK amateur mentality, the better. Don't feel like you've got to go to every UK event.
Yeah.
That's the downfall, where you'll literally pick up anyone. The online tournaments, don't feel like you've got to enter it if you've not got the correct team. If you haven't got the correct team, don't bother entering. You don't want to make yourself look a dick or a fool on the stream, because you're being pumped by like dropout pro teams that are just playing under no orgs. A lot of teams, that are like free agent looking for the orgs, they don't care what organisation it is. If there's money, they'll go. For example, like, I don't know how, obviously I doubt they'll be in here, but Cesario Gaming, didn't hear of them before champs, didn't know who they were or what they were, but they've got the money to send Tommy, Exceed, and all that to the champs.
Yep.
They all they had to do was send them to the event before champs. I can't remember what it was. I think it might be Anaheim that got you qualified for the champs, and then champs was all paid for.
Yep.
That's the margin that you're speaking of. Saving the money matters in a lot of UK organisations right now.
I think one thing that org owners at that level, the amateur level as well, I was about to say like us, but we don't do that shit no more.
I'm so glad that I don't, mate. There's too much to worry about.
I'm so glad you didn't tell, but I think what I was going with is some org owners will think that the players come to them because they want them. It's not that. They want the funding, they want the money, and if you're willing to give it them, you have to benefit off that. For example, I know there's a roster that's going to be announced soon for somebody that is a very, very, very good team. And I said to him, listen, what they want from you right now is they want the money, they want the funding. What you need to do in a turnover, you need to create content around them. You need to make sure you're getting as much off them as they are off you. It's all fine and dandy you paying, 45 euros to enter EEG. But what are you going to do during that league? Clips, make content, make them sit in front of a camera, talk about their brackets, their playoffs, etc. It's little things like that that can make an org snap like that and go so much further in terms of the AM scene. It can just benefit them so much, but people just believe it is as, I'll pay your entry fee and we'll do a few tweets here and there. I was a victim to it myself. All I did,
yeah, no, I was exactly the same. I made that mistake. I always got told people will come to you, but it's not that way. Yeah. You've got to make the first move. If you're organisation owner or team manager, you've got to make the first move.
100%. If you want,
otherwise people won't give a shit and won't pay attention to you.
Exactly how it goes. Another Twitter question coming in from Crazy. What is it like to work with S&G? I'm pretty sure you've answered it, but if you want to, talk on it again.
Yeah. It's different. There's always something going on, and that's what you need
Yeah,
in an organisation.
just active.
Yeah, there's like obviously you get the periods where there's like no tournament for 3 weeks, but 3 weeks in an organisation is very short.
Hmm.
Dota, Rocket League, all that sort of stuff is going on, and it just makes you want to watch a lot more esports going.
Yeah.
And I've just seen your face read that message,
I mean, that's the
and
thing.
it's just one of them things where it makes you feel like you are working for something very well.
Yeah.
If like you're only entering online tournaments or like maybe 3 events in a year, the next year you'll probably just do exactly the same, and there'll be no progression. But then that does come down to funding.
Yeah. Completely agree. And in terms of Singularity, how long have you been there now then?
I joined March the 17th.
So was you in S&G while you was doing Aerox, or
It was in the period of closing down.
yeah.
I took a step back from Aerox to do the Singularity stuff. But then that went tits up basically, and then there's like a 2 week period where I was like, do I just give it one more go
Is in Aerox or S&G?
at Aerox? And this was the start of the year, and I was like, this was when I was in like a lot of debt.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I can't even afford to pay for myself, let alone anyone else. And that's the last thing you want to do. So I thought, yeah, no, just take a step back.
So March this year, did you say? Sorry,
March the 17th.
this year.
Yeah.
Wow, even though the year's almost done now.
Yeah,
So
it's gone very quick.
First year anniversary, then really.
It'd be a cute situation. Hopefully they take me away somewhere.
So in terms of like your future with S&G, like there's no plans to leave, etc. You know, you're still going full metal, full steam ahead, etc.
Yeah, I've just signed a year's contract with them,
I love that.
which is it's fucking buzzing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So not that I'm stuck, not that I'm stuck there. It's just where I want to be.
Yeah,
In two. Well, no, I've been in esports for just under 4 years now, and in that time I've only had 2 organisations. I don't see the point in jumping ship all the time.
like some
The,
people do.
yeah, what a lot of people do is jump ship just so they're interacting with new people,
Yeah,
and then they'll go again, and then they know that they've always got that bond with that other person
to go back if
to
need
go
be.
back, and you're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your time if you're going to go. If you've been in I'll say 4 different organisations in a year and a half, you're wasting your time. Being quite honest, not like that's not if you've not like, for example, second wave into university. It'll be, for example, Aerox into Radiant, into Socially, into some other organisation. So you're just jumping everywhere. But yeah, that's the thing where people need to understand loyalty, and that'll change. But with the organisation owners, you can't expect people just to stay there.
Yeah,
You can't expect people like the managers just to stay there. You can have like the banter with them all the time, but at the end of the day, they want something in return.
yeah,
And if you're not going to pay your staff, your designers, your players, at the end of the day, you'll just get stuck with nothing, and you'll just go around in a circle again. Which is why I tried as hard as I can when I was in Aerox, even though it was like self-funding with like a small sponsorship on the side.
hmm
You've got to make a lot of payments, like small payments, because people like for example, I use Prof for example. I don't know if you know him, because My hat is so big because I'm the fucking donk, Brody. It's like, for example, Prof. Like, I'm not fucking defending the kid, but he's been my best mate probably for about 3 years, and that's not me because I paid him. It's because I said to him, if you want to make it in esports, you've got to do the work.
Yeah, 100%.
If you don't want it, because he currently works at McDonald's, I don't think he wants me to tell this on the stream, but he works at McDonald's. And I was like, if you want to be doing a night shift, continue doing what you're doing. But if you want to be doing esports, I've given him the opportunity at Singularity to work with me at the Fortnite side. If I'm going to say I need something done, I want it done within the hour.
Yeah.
You've got to be setting deadlines, and that's why I pay him. Like, I pay him out of my own pocket because at the end of the day, he's helping me make me look good in the same way as stupid as it sounds. Like we're working together, and he could easily say, "Yeah, nah, fuck it, you're on your own."
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I pay who I work with because they help me out.
Yeah.
And it's like a give and go situation where I'm not going to make my fucking owner at Singularity pay for Prof because Prof doesn't deserve to be paid. I pay Prof out of like a goodwill gesture.
Yeah.
And then that's the same as Sam. He does the analytics side of it. He doesn't necessarily have much to do. He's just messaged me now saying, "Wait a minute, why is Prof getting paid and I'm not?" So I just turned my phone over. Them both, I wouldn't be in the situation having it so easy to the point where obviously I'm still doing my stuff.
Yeah.
But they make it the social media side and the analytics side. That's two things I haven't got to worry about. So I thank them, and it does help a lot. With the comment of it's hard to stay in a team when they are just going backwards or they give up. Yeah, it's ridiculously hard. That's why you've got to kind of understand them within like the first week. I wouldn't want to rush an announcement of when I'm going to get signed because everything can change in a couple of days. You've just got to focus on your job. If you're doing your job right, then at the end of the day, the owner shouldn't be having a go at you.
Yeah.
That's the thing with what I've seen in amateur esports as well, where you're getting content managers, you're getting I'm going to say managing directors, but they're not managing directors. They're just like the one underneath the owners. They're telling the owners what to do, or they're giving the owners ideas, and that isn't what should be happening. Yeah, okay, the idea of I think we should pick up this team because is fine.
Yeah.
It's not. I think we should go for this partnership. I think we should go for that team. I think we should go to CWL London, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Let the owner be the owner.
Yeah.
You focus on what the owners gave your task.
Yeah.
If not, go create your own fucking organisation and you put your money on the line. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
No, you've literally said it so perfect. Like the first thing you started off on as well, though, people try to overstep and come in and give it the big bollocks and I can do this for you, I can do this. That's not what you're here to do, mate. Like,
Yeah.
Fair enough, you want to help, have your input. If you think that you can, give me, if you see me something doing wrong guidance, fair enough, I'm all for that, But don't come in and be like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we can do this, we can do that. It's not. Do your job.
If we're going to put this to like the real life situations, you're working at a job. You're working at a job 9 till 5, and your job is to. Give me a job example, Connor.
Okay, my job, I work with car parts for Range Rover engines.
Right, so your job is to focus on the engine, and you do that all day, every day.
Yep.
You're not going to go fucking tell the exhaust man what to do.
Exactly.
People like that are with that in esports.
That's because I don't like him, but yeah.
like you're stepping on people's toes, which will make you fall out a lot quicker. With Singularity, for example, I'm just a Fortnite guy. Yeah, okay, I might go in the Call of Duty streams, the Dota streams, for example. I don't know how to fucking play Dota, but I was still showing my support if they're streaming.
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you've got to create an environment where, oh, that's the Fortnite manager and he's making the effort with me. That'll make him feel a lot more home. But you've got to do your job before you even think about doing anything else. If I give you the content manager side, the content manager, they probably have one of the hardest jobs going.
Yeah.
It's not just create a stream team, make sure they stream, make sure they post a video on YouTube or whatever. It's literally maintaining a chat,
Yeah.
making sure everyone's comfortable. You don't want 40 fucking members. That's why I know Eric's got a lot of stick back in the day, purely because before I was there's like 108 fucking content members, and that's purely because the owners before me, for example, Davey, he was just purely thinking, yeah, let's just get a tweet, say,
More
yeah, you've got to
members,
like this
yeah.
tweet. You're wasting your time if you're just going to ask people just to like your tweet, because there's no difference in a number 8 to a number 9 in a like of a tweet.
Yeah.
And getting sending it into like a group chat, it doesn't work because one, you'll probably get fucking egoed, and two, you're just wasting your time. If people want to support you, then they'll support you.
100%. It's literally as simple as that. As I said earlier, if you're attracted to the brand, like, you know, the conversation I had with Ramsey, it's, if you're attracted to the brand, you're gonna support it, and if, say, you know, it's your friend, etc., you're gonna support it. But I think, as you said, you know, just filling your org out with members just so they can retweet, like stuff, etc. It's it's just not that way. I think a great example of what I can think of is, and it's no bash to these guys if you are in the stream, it's recognized talent RT on top, to Fames as well. I think a key standout point for all of the community was when EEG done, you know, the organization of the year, and somehow RT on top was on in that category for the final four.
I don't even want to get started on that
Yeah,
conversation.
and I think it's just going back to the fact that I think recognise that they do have a lot of members, potentially maybe they need them.
Open members, can I add?
I don't know what they do beyond their scenes, and it's up to them at the end of the day. But they have a lot of members, which necessarily might not have to be there. But it's the fact of they've run out with so much members that they have the support they have because of the members in there, etc. And it's not always about that. Just going back to what we was talking about, it's
that's what I said to EEG. I said you can't run a competition where it's going to be community based. Like, don't get me wrong, I get on well with Fames. Like, Aaron
is a good person.
Yeah, I get on well with Aaron quite a lot. He helped me when Alex was down the shit, to be honest. But I've always said to him, if you're going to have you need to decide if you want a community, or if you want like sorry, my fucking brain went. If you want a community or you want a competitive side.
Yeah.
And they're making a transition where they were open Call of Duty lobby team, like a pub stomping sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might take offence into that if I call it a pub stomping team, but it basically was. Into okay, now we've got a Rainbow Six team that's doing well because I've seen the tweets. They've got a Fortnite team. I saw that tweet earlier today, and they've got a Call of Duty team that's competing. That they're making a transition where they've got a community and a competitive side, which is good to the eye, but the competitive side is, no disrespect, because you might be new to it, but it's lower than the standard organisation. I get on really well with Aaron, which is fucking making it harder to kind of say this, but it's like the amateur scene goes for amateur players, and you can't be doing that.
That's what we spoke about earlier as well.
It's a thing where I'm helping. Like, I'm willing to help anyone with advice. It's not saying I'm the right person.
Yeah.
But I've been in a lot of shitty situations with organisations where maybe someone experienced can help. So that's the thing where EEG shouldn't have done the tournament of the year. They should have just done it off themselves. We have, for example, they should have worded the tweet. We have 4 organisations in mind. who do you think will win, or who do you think our number one organisation of the year is?
Mm-hmm.
And it should have just been Remark and Randu tweeting that.
Yeah.
Instead of having Portuguese versus Danish versus recognised talent community versus Buzzkill. Buzzkill's one of the best in the UK scene right now.
Mm-hmm.
Purely because they're always trying to do new stuff. Their branding's very fucking good, and I tried to join Buzzkill at one point, so I got shut down. But that's why I'm here right now.
I mean, one door closes and one opens, and it's worked out for you, especially with where you're at now with SMG and everything you're doing over there. I think it's very recognisable that the passion you have for esports, of course, and obviously the work that you are doing, because I mean the whole work across SMG of what people are doing, because it just seems so on top right now. It's really up there. It's turning. We're slowly starting to see it go from that AM to pro now, and it's just great to see, especially with just the stuff that, as you said earlier, the stuff that you necessarily you can have the right teams, you can have the right content, but it's the fact that the results there as well, like the COD team, Fortnite doing well, etc. It's good to see that the results are in, the passion's there, and obviously it's still growing. As you said, the owner is on like 20 hours a day.
He's
working
on
like
ridiculous hours.
That's what I mean. He's like doing 20 hours a day, working his ass off for it, and obviously you in your own section, you handle Fortnite, you're working your ass off to do Fortnite, as you spoke about, the last weekend's tournament. You're watching two different regions at different hours of the day.
I
not
spend
good
most of
for
my
you.
weekend staying in. I've sacrificed a lot of friendships and, well, I would say relationships, but I'm lonely as fuck. But it's one of them ones where I'm risking friendships, and like, okay, I'm 22 years old, even though I don't sound it or look it. I'm 22 years old. I'm missing out on a lot of fucking good times going out.
Yeah.
Purely because I want to set up a future for myself. This is where, for example, the people in the chat who's 15 to 18. This is your time. You need to fucking work hard, because once you taste that alcohol, there's no going back. it'll be weekend after fucking weekend that you're going out.
I think that's what's good about the sort of people we have in our community as well, the younger sort of people, so like Ramsey, Kyle, etc. Bro, just start working now. Crossy as well. I forgot about you. You're 17-year-old. Just start working now, and you can be so nice if you just put in the hours, you put in the work. If you want to do this, then commit or just quit.
Oh yeah, I didn't start esports till I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
I had a lot to fucking learn, and I've been honest, I've learned quite a lot in the 2 years.
I think I started 19, 20 as well. I think I've been in it for ages, but I think when I fully started,
it feels like I've been in it for fucking years.
Yeah,
it's like people going about the Call of Duty Legacy team with like the optic era. I never saw that. I never saw that. I've watched YouTube videos, and I've watched I always watch how to improve on myself.
Yeah.
Which is probably why like I'm not well spoken, but I'd always believe in myself. Yeah, it's a difficult conversation to have when you don't want to sound too egotistical, when you're just trying to get a point across and saying you've got to work hard to be in a situation similar to like a professional. It's not me saying like I'm fucking above people, like I said earlier in this conversation. It's just I'm fucking glad where I am right now, because I couldn't do that UK stuff again, that UK amateur stuff again. That'd make me go grey before I'm 25. But I saw Brody in the chat earlier talk about ESPU.
Yeah.
Because I worked with ESPU at a point, and being quite honest, the reason why ESPU didn't make it is exactly the same reason why Alex didn't make it. And I'll leave that to you, Brody, because you'll be able to work that out.
Yeah. So some stuff we'll keep under wraps.
Yeah.
I think
he'll know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he just put laugh my ass off. I think for me though, Kurt, I think I'm all out of questions. I think I'm done. I think we do have a lot more we could say though, but because of time, we will end it here. But
Yeah, it feels like I've been talking
I,
so
f-
much.
I think we can look towards another episode though, 100%. Because I feel like this conversation is definitely not done. Maybe as you tweeted out, the truth. Maybe we might have to bring up episode 2 over there. But I mean, for me, I think I'm all out of my questions for now. Twitch chat, sorry, if you do have any questions, drop them in now. We can get through them very, very quickly. We'll take probably 1 to 2 more if anybody does have one. Nothing about squirrels though, please, because Kurt
Yeah,
is just
short questions, please,
yeah.
because I'm out of words, to be honest, and I need to go back to like the thesaurus to think of new
Yeah.
words.
And it needs to go back to sleep.
Yeah, I set my alarm for 6:40. If anyone didn't, if anyone couldn't tell.
Best moment in Aerox. I think you said it earlier, but I'm guessing it wasn't.
To be fair, I'd probably say I don't know, man. It's still a shitty question.
I think it's like you
The
said,
best
like
memory would be
yeah,
the image,
yeah,
the picture, the chair as well, because I still use that right now. That kind of shows the hard work. Being honest, within 2 years to kind of get your own chair, it's kind of like people just think Alex was like a giveaway organization.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, that got 10,000 followers, and that's how you start your organization. You don't start on 600. So I took the risk. Like I said, I put myself into a lot of debt with it, maybe £6,000 plus debt,
yeah.
and that's the things you got to do to kind of get yourself known in esports. Is I don't know how to say it. Well, I'm owed about £4,000 from different people inside of Alex, which is why Alex closed as well.
Wow, the second episode definitely will come to light, guys. But I think for now, we will wrap it up here. Of course, Kurt, thank you for coming on and talking about SNG, talking about you as well,
I
and
spoke so much shit.
all you've done for the scene as well. If you do want to find his Twitter, you can see it underneath his camera there. At @C_. And of course, thank you once again for Socially Esports for powering this podcast. If you do wish to find out about this podcast, what we do to Twitter and of course Socially Twitter, feel free to scroll down right now in this Twitch link stream where you are, and you can see all the panels. Just go ahead and click on them. And of course, this episode will be live on YouTube tomorrow, I believe. But as of for now, guys, that's going to be it from us over at Pushing Media. Thanks everybody that tuned in, and we wish you all a Merry Christmas and good night.